This is the R2Y2 Kai V3. It's a rank 5 battle rating 7.7 fighter for Japan, and it's actually not real. As far as I know, it only existed on paper. I don't know much about it though, but that's not what this video is about anyway. This video is about the funny plane in the funny video game. As far as this thing goes in War Thunder, it's alright. It's not great, it's not bad. However, even though it's not one of the best planes there is, it is extremely fun. And there are two reasons for that. It's got really big guns with a lot of ammo, and it turns really well. Other than that though, there's really not that many other redeeming factors about this plane. Every other flight characteristic is just okay at best. But simply because you have fantastic guns and you have a great turn rate means you're gonna do okay because of all the Su-11s that try and turn fight you. And forcing an Su-11 to overshoot is not difficult. But of course, if you miss that shot, there is a high chance you're not gonna survive the rest of that fight. But of course, a lot of Su-11 players are relatively new, so even if you screw up badly, a lot of times you'll be okay against an Su-11, which is kind of funny. And that's also the reason the Su-11 is still 7.0. As far as the matchmaker goes, you're at 7.7, which means you get a fair amount of down tiers to 7.0. In fact, most of your games are 7.0 to 8.0 games. Not many full down tiers to 6.7, but also not many full up tiers to 8.7. Not much else to say about the plane itself, so let's get into some gameplay. Starting off this game, I'm pretty much above every single other person, and I've got an Su-11 right below. And what else is there to do other than shoot at him from a million miles away, because sometimes I hit those, sometimes. He's gonna fly in front of us anyway, get a crit on his wing, take his wingtip off, and eventually he's gonna go down. Get turned back around, start heading towards the remaining opponents, and I've got a 262 who is slow and right in front of me. He's gonna start falling down right in front of my guns, take a couple shots, and he's out of the match. Next up is a meteor who is also slow and right in front of me. Take a couple shots, get a crit, shoot some more whiff, of course, because I'm so good at aiming. Some more amazing calculated shots, and then eventually we hit one. So that's 3 kills so far, and very soon after this, the rest of my team is pretty much gonna die. A couple seconds later, spot this 262 who is flying low and right in front of me. Point my nose down, shoot, dead. I love these guns, man. Team is slowly but surely dying off, and there are still a lot of enemy planes up. Honestly, was not expecting to do well in this match at all, especially since there are a couple of Su-11s around. But at the moment, it seems like really it's just one person at a time who's actually around me. A21 below me, gonna start taking some long-range shots just to see if any of them hit, but I literally cannot aim to save my life, so I miss out on a kill right there. Doesn't really matter though, because you literally have so much ammo with this plane. You can spray like as much as you want, get 5 kills, and then kill like 30 tanks, dude. It's ridiculous. I've kind of put my nose back up here because I know there are others around and a couple of them aren't spotted, so I don't exactly know where they are, so I'm kind of being a little bit careful. This thing doesn't have the best energy retention in the world, so I don't feel like diving and losing all my altitude if I really don't have to. Getting closer to this 229, take some long-range head-on shots. Sometimes they hit, but not this time. And then I continue straight for a second. Look behind me and notice a MiG-9 who is uncomfortably close that I had no idea was there. Another MiG-9 below him too. I don't know if I just wasn't an awareness haver or if the spotting system screwed me over, but it doesn't really matter because the situation is the same. Now I'm just gonna try and put a little bit of distance between my opponents and I. Both of my remaining teammates show up, which is gonna help, I guess, disperse them a little bit, and I'm gonna feel, of course, a lot more comfortable with my teammates around, especially when I'm in a plane I'm not that confident in, because I think this game was like one of my first 3 games playing it. Start diving down, and this A21 is going to present himself as the easiest target, so I start trying to line up a shot. Don't trust my aim at all, so I try and get pretty close, and still don't have the best aim, but I do get a crit and take off his wingtip. Teammate gets taken out by the MiG-9, which is unfortunate, but I'm still up. I can still do some work. Getting a little bit of altitude, trying to pull away, seeing if the A21 is going to go down and put some space between me and the MiG-9 and the 229. As I said earlier, I'm not that comfortable with the plane in this game. As I said, this is like my 2nd or 3rd game, I don't remember. My teammate in the F3D shows up. He's going to try and engage that MiG-9. Doesn't kill him right off the bat, but that gives me the room I need to turn around and re-engage these guys. MiG-9 goes full tunnel vision on the F3D, and he's gonna just climb straight up for him, losing all of his speed and paying 0 attention to me, so that's gonna provide for an effortless kill. Still have terrible aim though, and waste a lot of shells when I really didn't need to. Not like it matters though, I've still got plenty. 229 below me, he's flying straight, and just couple shots and he's dead as well. Don't really know what happened there. Kind of just seems like those guys gave up. That's fine though, I get more kills that way. Start looking at this A21. I believe this is the one I crit earlier, but he didn't go down, and I guess he's flying back to base now. So I'm gonna head that way while also putting myself in a climb, because there are still 5 people left. And because I don't know where they are, I'm assuming they're probably around their airfield or above it, so that's why I'm trying to gain a little bit of altitude here. As I get closer to the airfield, I notice one of the remaining players is way above his own base, just climbing there for some reason. I don't really feel like dying to base AA in this game, so I start turning around. I'm hoping he'll start following me so I can get him, you know, away from his base, but 90% of the time when they do follow you, they end up just turning around as soon as you start engaging in a fight with them. At this point, I actually decided to RTB and get some fuel because I know I have almost 5 minutes left, but I have to fly all the way back and there's still quite a few people left, so if I did try and finish out the match on 4.5 minutes of fuel, I probably would have run out at some point. Got back up in the air, start looking for people. First one I spot is this A21 from earlier. Turns out I made it back to base and repaired, and now he's back up. I am faster than the A21, so it's not going to be an issue catching him at all. Eventually catch up to him and take him out. Moment later, start heading towards some ground units because I don't have the ticket lead at the moment. But before I can have a large effect on the tickets, I spot the SU-11. Now I'm kind of expecting to be kind of boned because the SU-11, really, I can't even touch him if he plays it right. Gonna just continue to take a very slow turn to maintain my speed because if I 180 for him and try to take him head on and, you know, merge or whatever you want to call it, he would be at an ultimate advantage in literally every way, more than he already is now. Frankly, right now I'm kind of just playing for an overshoot. I'm trying to keep the difference in our speed relatively low. I want him to be only a little bit faster than me, not a whole lot faster than me. As he gets close enough to get a gunshot in, I start to turn really sharply. He takes a couple shots, but I'm just gonna turn out of the way of those. Take it upwards, but unfortunately he doesn't follow, which now I'm not in the best spot anymore. I may have altitude, but now I'm really slow and I'm never gonna catch him. Shoot a few bursts from really long range because on the off chance that they hit, that would be kind of nice, not having to deal with an SU-11 anymore. I pull off and start heading towards the ground targets again because I would like to get the ticket lead. As soon as I do that, he turns around to re-engage me, but even though this is what I wanted, he's still an SU-11 and it's not really a easy situation to deal with. He starts taking a bunch of shots once he gets close, and I think he's gonna overshoot right here. Gonna continue to just try and stay out of his guns, follows me one more time, but then hesitates and pulls off again. Seems like he knows that I'm gonna be able to pull in if he commits to anything. As he's pulling away, I take some desperate shots and get a crit. Unfortunately, no immediate kill, but I think I took off his wingtip. And now he's gonna run away and try an RTB. So I start heading towards the ground targets again, and I notice I've only got like less than a minute and a half on the timer, and I still don't have a ticket lead. This is when despair set in, knowing I'm probably not gonna win just because of the tickets. But of course I am an R2Y2 and I have a whole bunch of ammo in these 30s. Start hitting some ground targets, shoot a tank, shoot another tank, and then I get an aircraft destroyed, which was a bit confusing, but that was the SU-11 going down from earlier. And that's a nice 8-kill game, but we're not done yet because there's only 50 seconds left on the clock, and I still have to get the ticket lead. Luckily, I'm close to a big line of tanks, so I just take them out one by one, and after destroying those 4 tanks, I have the ticket lead, which is gonna win me the game. I probably would have been slightly annoyed if I lost that. Before I wrap things up, I'm gonna lazily throw together a montage of some of the extra footage I have for this thing, because I have quite a bit, so enjoy. The R2Y2 isn't necessarily the best plane in the game, but it's not necessarily bad either. It's got fantastic guns, and there are 4 of them, and you have a shitload of ammo. And that combined with the fact that it turns really well, it makes for some pretty good fun. Also, one more thing to note about this plane, specifically the battle rating. It's at 7.7 right now, but I got most of this video already done. In fact, all of it except for this outro right before they released the planned BR changes where this thing is being moved up to 8.0. So this video will be outdated pretty quickly. However, I don't know exactly when, I just know it'll be soon. Let me know what you think about the R2Y2 down below. I think it's kind of weird, but kind of cool. Doesn't matter though, it doesn't exist anyway. Alright, that's gonna be it from me today. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.